All right, mic check, mic check. More Masters Podcast, your host, man, of course. Across from me, I got special guest, J. Paul Demigod.
What's going on, King? What's going on, King? Blessed to be here.
Thank you, man. You had 7 names. I wasn't sure which one to call you, so I had to make sure I get it right. You know what I'm saying?
J. Paul, the Demigod. I had to put the Demigod behind it, man, because, you know, it's a lot of J. Paul. You go type in J. Paul, you got J. Paul's a famous gospel rapper, and J. Paul, the actor, is a bunch of J. Pauls.
I know a J. Paul. I don't know what he do, but it's just his name.
Right.
That's
It's like a common name and stuff. Yeah.
How you been, man?
Man, I've been blessed, man. Just staying working, man.
I've been seeing you working, man. Normally, like when I start the podcast, so I do start and ask a person just to kind of briefly introduce themselves. I want to hold on that for a second. I did this on purpose. Have you been hearing about any of the stuff that's going on in the city lately?
Yeah, man. I've been there's been a lot of tragedy going on in the city, man. A lot of shootings.
Right.
And I don't know what's going on, man. I've been in the city for going on 5 years, man. And it just is getting. It's like each year getting worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like, you know, they had a shooting, Laney, Josie, then a threat at the school today at Josie. So it's like, man, I pray for everybody. You know, be safe and, you know, protect that. You know, protect your family.
I seen a lot of posts today. Well, I think so, since all this stuff been happening, and I mean it's social media, so I'm not sitting here saying nobody shouldn't post about it. That's fine, you know. But I just posted something a little while ago, and sometimes I feel like people post and instead of like I get that we want to fix it, whatever issue we think is going on, because we don't know yet. We just know it's a lot of killings going on. They're young, right. But sometimes we feel like people want to get status of the day instead of like really. I'm not saying they don't care about the issue, but I feel like there's so much thought put into like how can I make the status get shares and likes instead of like what can we do to like just stop one person from doing this all. You know what I'm saying? Change the narrative or the thought process of these kids.
Right.
And I don't know. It's puzzling to me sometimes when I feel like that. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people they doing that on purpose. Like they have 6, 7, 8 statuses, but they ain't been outside yet to tell one person, like, hey, make sure you're not doing this, or make sure you're not doing that. I don't know. That kind of bothers me a little bit as a parent, I guess, because I feel like it takes a village a lot of times to do a lot of this stuff, and the village can't be social media though. It can't be Facebook.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I just want to make sure we touch on that before we start, because it's fresh, new. I'm supposed to do something with somebody tomorrow. I don't say tell his business like that, but I think he's in that kind of lifestyle. I saw him in the mall, and he was like, I want to come on and talk about it. I'm like, all right, cool. They hit me up later on. He's like, well, I want you to come out here. And I'm like, I don't care. I'll come out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm bringing my microphone. I don't want anybody to talk. If that's the case.
Right.
So yeah, I was just curious, especially you being a content creator, like how you feel about that. Because you create a lot of content based off, I'm pretty sure, of art imitating life. Do you ever see yourself kind of going that direction with your writing for like filming and or short series or something like that?
Yeah. Well, going off what you were saying, I totally agree. As far as like I think a lot of people do make status and stuff just for the likes and shares and comments because of tragedy sells just like sex sells. So it's like everybody wants to be you know how you ever been to school and somebody dies. You might not have been friends with them, you just knew them, but as soon as they died, that person just knew everything about them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They knew the last word they said and everything. Some people just they like that short span of attention. You know what I'm saying? It don't last long because nobody. When you start to mourn more than the family does, it start to look like it's a facade, like you're playing. So I feel like first off, to fix that, they got to put the phones down. When some tragedy's going on, instead of picking up the phone, filming it, try to prevent it or stop it. A lot of, like I said, everybody try to get that viral moment. That's the sad world we're living in now. Instead of a hand to pick you up and you got a camera in your face.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got some plans on a few films that's gonna be showing like a little bit of truth of what's going on as far as young youth. And I did an interview and a lady told me, shout out Shanika Lynette, shout out to her. She said we need to provide more opportunities. You feel me? More opportunities will give people more reasons of other routes to try besides the street life and, Cause I've been wondering like where they getting all these guns from. Like
Yeah.
wow, man.
It's so easy now. Like, I feel like
yeah.
they just, I don't know if it's when they turn 12, they just automatically come in the mail or
I
something
guess
like
it
that.
comes
But
with a gun when you turn 13 or something.
it seems like that, man. It really
seems
do.
like it's crazy.
it
I mean,
really seem like it.
automatic weapons.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
I ain't, bro. Like, the first gun I seen was a caliber. It was like a 38, something like that. And I was like 9, 10 or something like that. I ain't seen no automatic weapons till I got a little older.
About 9, 10, 11, they already holding them. They already got them. They playing with them. Yeah,
they playing with them. So it's a different world, man. Different generation, man. I just feel like, you know, a lot of things need to change. Also the music, a lot of the filming, a lot of, you know, just, you know.
You know, and just touching that real quick, I was gonna block that paint that's behind. It's like the bad guys, all the Italian mob. You know, you got Ray Liotta. I like it.
That's
I like
iconic.
it. But you're right. You said it's gangster, right? And I think that a lot of times we look at gangsters, they're just killing because that's what the movies show. Mm-hmm. But in those movies, they have morals, principles, and values. Like you got the no women and kids. Mm. You think about that one rule. They off
limits.
That's it.
Yeah,
that one rule.
Yeah,
but also it was like if you did something around them, it was repercussions for it, regardless of who you was. Because that's not how they conduct business. Right, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not the person saying like it ain't gonna be no crime in the world. I know it's certain lifestyles that they got their own. They govern themselves their own way, and that's what come with it. But women and children, old people, like that's just wild to me to just be shooting when you got somebody grandma outside, somebody little niece. You know what I'm saying? Some innocent bystanders. It's really wild. And in the movies, you didn't see none of that. If you got hit up or something, you was in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you said that gangster, I think I think about them when I think of that, not somebody killing somebody that's you know
it's not
personal.
Yeah, it's not gangster, man. Like with them, it's like mostly with them Italian mafias. Like mostly they took out people that was either crossing territories in the same field. You know, they was doing the same, you know, illegal activities with each other and cross each other boundaries. You know, that's on, you know. If you're not in that lifestyle, you ain't gonna know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference than a lot of what these, you know, what they're doing now. They're just shooting in the air, or they just shoot not in the air, but they're shooting in crowds. They would know, you know, for one target.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They just randomly shooting in the crowd, kids and everything. So it's a total different. It's more cowardly than anything. You know, it's nothing manly about someone shooting someone when they ain't got a gun for one. You know, I was raised on you had to throw them hands.
Yeah.
You know, you lose, you win, you win. You know, if you lose, hey, you see them again, you fight again.
Yeah.
Until you win. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't like that no more neither. So it's like you want to fight now, you got to be a boxer.
Pretty much.
Some martial art. You can't do it like in the streets no more. Who you gonna fight?
Yeah.
Who you gonna fight?
You gonna be out of here. Yeah, you gonna fight in the street.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to touch on that real quick, man. But just getting back to you. So like, tell the people a little bit about yourself. Like, who you are, where you from, where you came up at.
Basically, from Toombs County, Georgia. That's Lowndes Valley, Georgia. It's like the country. It's near Savannah. It's like an hour some change from Savannah, 2 hours from Atlanta. 2
Toombs
hours
County?
from Augusta. Toombs County.
What's out there? Like, what's out there?
Onions.
Onions
and country.
Okay. So it's stink out there, or
and racist white people.
Okay. Well,
yeah, you know.
Got
you know,
stench racism. There we go.
Yeah.
Might be country out there.
That's a country. So like I'm from the country. So it's like we at the bottom, man. So it's like it's low poverty, man. Like low income housing. I think the most expensive rent down there, like you probably can get you the houses are not expensive down there at all.
Still, even now.
Even now. Like, because the jobs, there's not really that many good jobs down there.
How big is the county? Like what's the population?
I ain't been following Toombs County in a minute, as far as the census count. But
it's smaller than Richmond County, though.
Oh hell yeah! Oh yeah!
Okay.
Oh yeah! It's like Valdez put you in the mind of Waynesboro.
Okay.
As far as like kind of like Waynesboro. Like got the Walmart. Has like a bunch of brand stores, but post office stuff, but it ain't really got no attractions. It ain't got everybody in Waynesboro got to come to Augusta.
Got you.
To have fun or something like that. I'll go to Atlanta.
So where y'all go?
Savannah. We go to Savannah or we go to Atlanta. Or Augusta. Anybody because we like not that far apart from each other and stuff like that. But ain't nothing down there, man. Just Walmart was the most popping thing down there in Toombs County. It still is now, probably.
I hate to see it, man.
Yeah, it's but them areas, man, they real bad. Like far as like inspiration, you don't get inspiration from them areas because nothing really come down there as much.
Gotcha.
And so nothing but country life. So basically, that's how that area really was. A lot of drug dealing. A lot of drug dealing. So what else people gonna do? You ain't got no opportunities. You got drugs that's coming in the neighborhood, and you around people and they selling it, they selling this, and
so I not to cut you off, but I assume that if it's not a lot out there, then that means that it's not a lot of jobs out there also.
Nah, then it's not that many good jobs out
So
there.
then
I mean,
the
they
drug
like
dealing is probably one of the popular jobs to have out there.
Yeah. I mean, as far as popularity wise, you want some quick bread,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but
I mean, if you ain't got a Walmart, I mean, that's,
but a lot of people don't.
That's 100. That's 100 jobs right there.
Right. So, I mean, down there, the big jobs down there is train, the airport, Toomey, Savannah luggage, yeah.
So, like, tell me what was you doing as you grew up? Like, what's some things you did?
When I was doing down Toombs County, I was doing music. I was an artist. I'm still an artist, but a musician. But I was into music. I started doing beats when I was 9.
Oh, okay.
I started doing music when I was 9. Started doing beats and stuff when I was 9. Started selling them when I was 12. So, I was making beats on the PlayStation.
Real quick, because you skipped a lot just now. So, what made you start selling them? Like how'd you get good at it to be able to start selling it? Yeah,
the beats.
And you say you made them on PlayStation?
On PlayStation.
Was that a thing?
PlayStation 1.
Okay. See, I'm older, but I'm not that old. I don't know how old you. I'm not trying to give you age. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
I remember I had a PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
It was my dad, and he left, and I used it.
Right.
You make beats on there?
Well, it was a software they had on there called the MTV Generator. And so it was like the FL before FL kind of like so. You put it in, and it's like you had drum patterns, you had loops, you had samples, the whole nine. And, you could either put them together, paste them together, like arrange them, or you can create your own. So I was in the video games a lot back then. So I was more of the geek nerd type person, but I was cool with the streets because my family was popular. My mother, had a gambling house, so everybody knew my mother from the neighborhood. So I used to be in the video games a lot, and I can't even remember how that I even got that game, man. All I know, I had the game, and I was trying it out, and I was like, I played it one time, and I was like, this is boring, so I took it out, and something told me I put it in a couple of days later, tried it out, and start playing with it. When we get certain things, we don't like to read things sometimes. We like to just jump on things and just think we know it and stuff, and then we get frustrated and be like, you know what, it's too hard and stuff. But but when you really sit down on, you're like, man, this is it. So I started making beats on it, man, and next thing you know, I'm like, okay, I made one beat, and I made another beat, I made another beat, and I've always had an ear for music, so I've always had that sound where like I can, you hearing the words, but I'm hearing that cymbal in the back, I'm hearing that triangle, I'm hearing the hi-hats, so I already knew I had an ear for music. So when I started making the beats, I produced my first project. I was in a group called Duplex Mob. It was a group that I started. It was 5 of us, and my little brother. And I produced that whole album on PlayStation. So
when was this? You mind giving me the year or nah?
Oh man, I can give you the year. That was like
98.
90. No, this before Crunk Time started. So it was like 97, 96, 97. Jeez. Like 96, 97. Okay. It's like a little bit after when we work on our album, Tupac got killed.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
All right. Before I get back to that, you said I remember when Tupac died. I remember that.
Yeah, 96.
But before we get back to that, so you said describe your household, like the hierarchy of household, because you just mentioned gambling house. I don't know if y'all lived in it or what, but like what was the
like
household
gambling house? Like in the country, man, you got a house where you have people in the neighborhood come and gamble at. Like they go to different houses. Like
in the basement or just like
no, you go to your house, like your regular house. So it's like only thing you just
like a club
playing in the kitchen. No, it's no club. It's a gambling house. Like it's like okay, you might play in Tonk. You know what I'm saying? So people that want to gamble Tonk, they'll come to the house for that day. She have a certain time. Okay, we're gonna be gambling this certain time to this certain time. And they used to have different houses in the country where people used to go gamble at. They had Tonk, they had spades, poker, gin and rummy, different things like that. So my mother, she used to do all the game, Pacino, And so everybody used to come over there and gamble and, make money and, just do all the other stuff. It was like the normal thing down that way.
Got you.
So, but yeah. So you come out the room, you see a bunch of people in there yelling, playing cards, and you go in there get your little soda and cookies and go back in the room. That's how it was.
Did that ever cause like a problem? I don't know. When you talk about it, I don't know why the first thing comes to mind. I don't know why. Men's Society. I don't know why it's coming to mind right now. Right? When Kane came out the room,
put you in the mind of it. Kind of put you in the mind. Like it's like. My parents used to have these little anniversary parties every year in January. They got married in January, so they used to have the anniversary parties. So, like every year, they used to have all the kids, like all my aunties, all the uncles, everybody. They used to bring all their kids over, and they pile them up in the room, and then then the oldest ones are in charge of everybody in the room. So it's like everybody got blankets and pallets and stuff all on them, and we can't leave the room unless we got to pee. Because the grown-ups got the whole house partying and, it's a house party. So, man, and my house was known for having house parties. My mother doing the anniversary party, then I started throwing house parties and stuff. So I got popular with that, too, for throwing, like, the little neighborhood house parties. I used to charge people $5, $10 to get in the house. Like, we'll clear out the whole
So
living
she let you
room.
do it, too?
Oh, yeah. We'll clear out the whole living room and just let people, charge people $5. And I started, that's like the first way I started, start doing shows and stuff. Even though they were house parties, I used to have people performing and stuff there.
I guess, and I'm thinking about it now, like, in what you do now, because I'm assuming you kind of work for yourself. You do your own type of stuff, right? Is that where you get it from your parents? And is that culture?
Yeah, my mother started hustling me. Like, she was a hustler. Like, my uncle's a hustler, my daddy a hustler. All of them were hustlers. Like, so, they all dealt with, the drug game and different things like that. But before it's like just the hustler mentality, we all hustlers. Like, they show me the hustle. Like, never ask nobody to do it for you. You got to get it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because you can't get it on your own. Then you know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta get it out the mud, man. So I just talk from them. Like, I come from the neighborhood where it's like you have 4 or 5 people on the same block selling the same stuff. You might get $5 from him. He might be selling 2 for $5. He might got $3 bags. It be stuff like that.
Yeah.
They be right beside each other. Like that's the area I come from.
See, this is on a tangent, right? So I always thought the South was weird sometimes in that sense because me being from up north, like it wasn't a thing. Like it was no such thing as us 3 who was selling the stuff in the same block. One of us got to go. and and I'm just
right.
I remember. This is just a weird story. I shouldn't be telling this story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I remember there was a guy. Don't ask me why he sold drugs. He was in a wheelchair. Don't ask me why he was in a wheelchair or why he was able to sell drugs there. I don't know. But the 2 guys that used to sell drugs on there came home for whatever reason. They remember they just beat him up one day. I don't know. And he never came back on the corner again. Well, he did, but when he came back on the corner, he was like a worker. And I'm assuming because he was selling something that they wanted to sell. Right. So they're like, hey, look, we're going to beat you up real quick. I know you ain't got no legs. We just going to show you that we ain't playing, and you come back and make some money with us. But it's always violence up there because of that. So like I always wondered how y'all was able to like have it where y'all could not be violent. I don't know if y'all wasn't. I don't know how go down out there, but instead to say, I'm gonna just do 2 for $5 instead. I ain't gonna beat him up. I'm just gonna 2 for $5. That's not such thing in you. Like no, you got to go somewhere else. Like may kill you, maybe even. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know, like
you got in the South, man. Like it's a core what part of the South you're going to too. Like if you're going to the deep South, like you got to think you go to the small counties that no one talks about. Those be the counties that be doing that, like they be moving like that, and they be pushing a lot of work and having buzz far as in the drug game because it's a small county, no one pays them no attention. So with them, it's like a lot of them are family or they're related. Like like. It might be the big cousin, might be the big man. So he putting his 3 little cousins on the block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he give them some work. So now them 3, they in competition with a friendly competition on who can sell the most out of them 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how a lot of that be going on the block.
That's kind of wild, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it be sounding crazy, man, but it's like normal to me, bro. The stuff that I grew up around, like Tools County, like them small towns be having big stories, bro. That's why I be telling people.
What you think the biggest that you could talk about, at least the biggest story that came out of that from you as when you came up? What's like the biggest thing that happened out there to you?
That's a lot.
Not to you, not to you. My bad, but
like the biggest story come from Toombs County. Far as the city or far
just the
as
city. It's just far. I'm big on history, so every time I go look it up, I'm pretty sure.
As far as Toombs County, man, I love Toombs County, man. Just the only thing I hate about Toombs County, it was just you have the people in position that don't want you to get in a higher position down that way. So it's like, and that's because of the opportunity that they're not providing. It's like they mishandle a lot of the money as far as the city, that gives them to fix the city up.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember the good parts of Toombs County. That's like one reason I don't really be in Toombs County as much, because a lot of it I try to remember just that good part of it, because it's dead now, man. Meaning like a lot of the history's gone from it.
Gotcha.
And it's like you go down there now, it's just a lot of young boys down there, wild. So it's like they doing way, they not respecting the OGs in the area that I grew up respecting. They're not just respecting, they ain't got no boundaries, bro. Like, so it's like,
that's the world now, seems like.
Yeah. So it's like, that's one reason I stopped going to Toombs County. It was just the fact, like, just a lot of the people that made the city shine was either dead or gone, dead or locked up. So it's like,
What made you leave? Like, not what made you leave, but like, when you left, where'd you go? Like, what was it?
First place I went to was Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson, South Carolina?
Right.
So you left South Carolina. They're crazy out there in South Carolina?
Man.
You from, I hope I'm from South Carolina, but South Carolina? Heck no.
Oh, okay. I lived in Carolina for
I
like
wouldn't
10
be,
years.
man. Being from South Carolina is kind of wild.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I talk to people, if they give me a smart answer, I ask them if they really from here, from there.
Right.
South Carolina, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if it's something in the water out there, but like, it's like, I know it sounds like I'm joking. I promise you, I work out there now, and sometimes I can't make it up. I just can't make it up. Like, I don't know if it's a hereditary thing or if it's like, I know they got wells and stuff out there. I don't know if it's the tap water. I don't know what it is, but they all act the same.
Yeah, I say South Carolina it's different. It's different, especially if you're Georgia born and raised. So it's like when I moved to Carolina, I moved to Anderson, moved out there, relocated out there family wise, and just try to make some moves down there. Now with Anderson, it's like I said, Toombs County, it wasn't really no inspiration as far as like taking stuff or what can I really do with this talent and stuff that I really have. So Toombs County, going back to what you're saying, what I learned from Toombs County gave me the hustler mentality.
Okay.
Where it's like, it gave me where it's like, okay, I got, like I told you, got 3-4 people selling the same stuff. You got to be able to do something different and make yours sell more. So it's like, I come from that mentality because I grew up seeing and being around that mentality. So it's like, Toombs County taught me to hustle. They taught me how to get it out the mud, because nobody's not going to get it for you. Now, what Carolina did, what Anderson did for me, Anderson like basically set out the blueprint of what I'm doing now. And how that happened was when I moved to Anderson, I went to the studio of this dude, Go Hard Entertainment, dude named Professor. Shout out Chop, that's my boy. But he had a studio down there called Go Hard. And so this coming from Toombs County, you go into a different area. I ain't never been outside Georgia like that, besides if I'm going home or whatever, but I ain't never been outside of Georgia like that. So just to move in Carolina, and I'm living here, so I I was a musician. I was looking for other musicians that's in the city and stuff. Because back then I was doing the artist thing, doing my artistry. So somehow I wound up bumping into Chop, Professor. And he had his whole studio set up like where it was a recording studio, but he shot music videos, he shot movies. He had like the studio layout, he had pressed up shirts, like he was just doing a lot. That was my first time seeing something like that, like seeing one man do all that. So I'm like, wow, man. So it was like, and I knew I like back then because I was already filming, but I wasn't filming like he was filming. I was like, how you pull the camera up, film something, play something, and put it up. Yeah. I was mostly into music, but I had got the camera because I knew that I didn't want to be getting in my late 30s and I'm still rapping, and in my 40s and I'm still trying out a record deal. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to where it's like I wanted to have more accolades attached to me, so that way when I want to drop music, I want to drop music because I want to drop music. It's nothing that I'm looking for behind it because I done created my own stuff.
Right.
So, so when I seen him how he had it set up and stuff like that, and I was like, and it was like 10 years ago. So I was like, man, I made beats and stuff. So I went in there, he was looking for a producer. So I went in there and talked to him. My man linked us up. I talked to him. I let him hear some beats. He like, oh man, let's link. We linked up. And I started coming over there every day, making beats. Boom, boom, boom. I made like about 4 or 5 projects with them. Did a soundtrack for their movie and stuff like that. So he showing me the game. He was like, bro, you got talent, bro. Like, you got more talent than me. He like, bro, if you know how to put that stuff together where you could balance it. My thing was like, I'm a go hard person. Like, I don't like to give nothing halfway. I like to do it, so if I'm an artist, I like to put all my attention in that. If I'm rapping, my attention in that, music in that. I tried not to, back then, I wasn't trying to spread all my talents out because, when you passionate about something that you love, you want that to be your main goal, your main thing. So, so when he told me that, man, I was like, yeah, I could do that. So, and just that motivated me, bro. Like, I stayed in Anderson for like maybe a year. Then we moved to Aiken. And I was in Aiken for like 8 years.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so I was living in Aiken for like 8 years. So I moved from Anderson, but I got what he had. I got from me working from him in Anderson. I had put that in my mind and stuff. And so when I came down in Aiken, I was like, okay, now it's time to put this blueprint together, how I wanted to do it. Because, I see how everything that he was doing as far as doing the multi things. And I was like, well, I do a whole lot more. Like, I do because, he did the music, he did recording, and he did the filming, and he did videos, and he did editing.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing a bunch of other stuff, like
including
the stuff he was doing. So by him telling me, like, I had all the skills stuff that he possessed, but just that I didn't see nobody actually putting it out there together.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like you might want to do something, and it has nothing. You can be inspired by someone to make it that jumpstart yours because you probably don't have no direction on how to start it.
Yeah.
And back then, the internet wasn't heavy like that, where you can just,
But sometimes you see somebody doing something and it's not to say a cocky sense, but like you see them doing, you're like, damn, I ain't think about doing it that way, but I know I can do that and do it probably more efficient or in a better way.
Right.
And then you just do it. It happens.
Right. And see, like with him, like I told him, like, he my dude, like, he the one told me to get on this path. So, like, as far as like, he put that key in my bag, bro. Like, sometimes you need to hear that from people you admire or you look up, that you rep it, and I respect him, bro, because it's like this man was taking care of like family and, and I love that because at that time I had a 9-to-5 job. So it's like I was working and doing the music and it was like draining, killing my body.
How'd you feel when you like working? How'd you feel?
I hated it.
What you did? Like, what job did you do?
I was driving forklifts. I was a warehouse. I used to work in the warehouse. I'd be the guy that either loading your trailer, tractors, the big truck, 18-wheeler. I'd be the guy loading stuff in there. And a shift leader. I always been some type of leader at work. But I hated it, bro. Like, anybody that got a passion or you dream or something like that, bro, you gonna hate being at a job. Especially, you being around people that been in there for 10 years, 15 years plus, and they talking about complaining about the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, they complaining about it.
That's how it be for real.
And it's like, man, like, I really don't want to be here with you guys. Like, I got so much other stuff going on. Y'all just making it worse because I've only been here 3 months. You've been here 20 years, and you just telling me how bad you just an example of how bad they can get for me in 20 years.
9 out of 10, the person that's saying is a trash worker anyway. Like, they always terrible, bro. I swear to God.
Yeah, I always be the trash worker.
Always.
I always be the trash worker.
The nerve. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So it's like, I used to hate it, bro. I don't know, man. It's like when you got so much, for yourself, bro. You want more for yourself, bro. And then it's like them years go by, you working at a job, man. It's like
It's funny you said it, because I be having the same thoughts at work, right? I don't know if you remember. I want to ask you this. So, and I'm gonna get to what you got going on, but like, in the studios that you have, right? Do you do the maintenance work in there? Something like what do you do? But outside of the creative stuff, like, do you fix stuff and stuff like that?
I do everything. Yeah, you have to check it out one day, man. I do everything. I build every room in it. Not every room, but majority every room
You're
in
a
there.
carpenter?
No, that's not the thing. Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
I just I'm not a carpenter, and it's just being from the streets, just being around that.
I asked that because one time I seen you. I didn't know you like that. You know, I didn't even know you never. Normally I wouldn't do that, honestly, but
Right.
I don't know. It was last year. It happened last year because I know one say I work at, but I didn't say I work at Lowe's. I don't care. And I seen you in there. The one over here. I worked there for 7 years.
Lowe's.
Yeah. And one day I came to you in line, right? It was the funniest thing because, like, someone told me not to do it because I didn't know you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I must have feeling good that day. I don't know. I almost speak to people in public like this. I don't know why I came. I was like, what's up? You gave 5%. I was like, yeah, man, I want to get with you, da-da-da-da. You was like, yeah. And I walked out there, yeah, he don't know who the hell I am. He probably like, who is this guy? And it was so early in the morning. I normally don't do that. But
Yeah.
I had never seen you before.
You were at Lowe's on Peach Orchard?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
For like 7 years, yeah.
Okay. I remember somebody approached. I ain't gonna say a lot. I remember exactly what it was. But I remember.
could tell from your face.
I kind
You
of
was
remember
like,
that deja. Like it's like hitting me like a replay. I just can't remember.
It's just that I think either I had started seeing, like, I think 'cause I worked a lot with Side Jules at the time.
One of my girls.
And I seen her on your platform a lot. And so I don't know, just by nature, I was like, I'm just talking to him and see. And I knew I wanted you to own. I just didn't know when. It's like you do, like with guests.
Right.
Sometimes I want to guest on. I just don't know when I want them on. It gotta make sense. The time gotta be right, you know, for all that stuff to work. And when I seen you, I was like, well, let me make sure we, because let's just say, for instance, you didn't know who I was and I ain't speak, then it's like, oh, he might not mess with me. I don't like to have that kind of energy, so I'll just speak to everybody and hopefully that it goes smooth. But I remember that day, I remember walking away like, yeah, he don't know who the hell I am. And that was cool because if you ever looked at well, now it's different. That's also another thing too, though. Like, I changed the way I do stuff because of that. Because you look at my platform, it's normally the other person, like yours, the other person. I'm not in it.
Right.
So a lot of times people didn't know who I was.
Right.
You know, so I'll be getting introduced like, you do more master, like, yeah, like, I don't know you, like, yeah, I'm not in the camera.
You're not
you know
in
what I'm
the
saying?
camera,
A lot of time, but now I am. But anyway, besides that, it just was funny. Now I know that feeling was true. You probably like, who the hell is this guy? But whatever. But you was real cool. You said, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I lie, yeah. You don't know who I am.
Yeah, I mean, I get approached a lot, man. A lot of people ready to, like, want to work and stuff. So it's like, you know, I'm willing to work with anybody. I mean, if it makes sense, you know, stuff like that. So, but yeah.
So I know you say you did music, right? So I don't want to skip over that. I want to get into, like, so you make music. I'm assuming you still in there, right? Because I see you a lot, make beats sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm always curious because you was an artist at the time too. You made music, but you also rapped, I guess, or was it singing,
rap, singing, everything.
Okay. And this is I don't know if it's a tough question for you, but it's hard to ask rappers that come here. So at what point is it like, all right, I have to try to do something different because this not working how I thought it was going to work?
Right.
Did you ever have that moment? Because I know you do other things now. So and if you did have that moment, was it easier to come to that decision based on the other things you were doing? Because I see you successful in a lot of other things.
Yeah. I'm glad. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that. Nah, man, it was the hardest decision of my life. One of them. It's like, cause you know, especially when you've been doing music for so long. I've been doing this since I was, like I said, once again, I was 9. So I've been hitting stages ever since then. So it's like, you know, I took a break, you know, because I wanted my fan base to be a different fan base. Like, you know, it's like when it comes to like music, you know, if you don't have that big budget behind it or if you don't have that big push behind it, music is only gonna go so far unless it goes viral now, of course, because TikTok, but back then you gotta think, you know, we didn't have TikTok. We didn't have a lot of these streaming things that help artists get views and stuff. We had to actually go hit the road and pass out CDs and flyers and stuff like that. So it was a lot more money you had to kick out too, because them CDs cost. Them CDs cost, man. So, but yeah, man. Yeah. So I tell artists, bro. Like I've been telling artists this for a while, man. Like you wanna be able to make money in something that you're not comfortable in, so you can use that for the money that you want to be comfortable in.
Right.
So like success comes from when you uncomfortable. You too comfortable. A lot of things can go wrong. You stay stagnant. You don't move. So you got to be uncomfortable because it makes you want to work hard. Because if you're like, okay, I got to make sure that bills get paid. I got to make sure this get done. So let me make sure I get on it. You uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of artists that that still do music, and because a lot of them, it's a lot of them have expiration dates to the point where they're not saying that they need to stop rapping, but maybe need to change it up a little bit. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, all rappers, if you notice, even in mainstream artists, all rappers, when they quit, they buzz die, they quit, they go to TV.
Right. Do something different.
They sell cologne, perfume. They do something else, and that what really bringing them the bag. It don't be the rap. It be the other stuff on top of that. So I tell artists, like, don't put all your eggs in just rap and music, because now these days, music ain't really got no money behind it. Rap don't.
Yeah.
Unless
Right.
you already got a hit behind or you got some money already behind it. But rap, it's no money in rap. Unless you doing other things or you selling marketing or you investing, because reason I say that because there's no money in rap unless you have that hit. You got a hit. You get a hit record. Now you can go on shows and get paid for shows and make your bag up. But then you gotta have to invest that money because hits these days don't last that long.
I seen and I always talk about it. I told him like 3 times and I don't know Casanova.
Karma Casanova.
Karma Casanova, right?
Shout out Karma.
Shout out to him, man. I seen him post something one day, and I was unsure because I'm not in that world about what it tastes funny.
That shit was loud.
Oh, I'm unsure. I'm unsure. I was unsure at the time when he spoke on it. Then I had Q Dog in here. He said, "Damn, they're the same thing." He was like, "How, even now in today's world, it's not even about the talent. Like
It's not about music.
the talent is just one thing. So being talented is like you like a quarter of the way there now,
Right.
and that's even hard to have, right?
Right.
But then it's the following. So he said that he had these meetings with these execs, and Karma Casanova said the same thing. Like they want to get this money up, but you gotta have this amount of views. You gotta have,
Right.
and so I wonder for somebody like you who've been doing this for so long, is it easier now or was it easier back then? And I only ask that because now you can kind of do something stupid. If you want to compromise yourself, you can just do something. You can slap somebody. You could put your song in the background. I don't care how
Right.
TikTok.
Right.
These instruments, these things. These tools wasn't around for you guys. It was after at the time. It was more talent and then politics. I think that was more of and who you knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Relationships.
Yeah.
Now it's not even about none of that.
Yeah.
You can know that somebody and not get no deal.
I'm gonna be honest, man. We have more like we had way more talented artists as far as mainstream artists, compared to the artists that's out now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of the artists that's out now is more of a copycatters or more of a following a trendsetter type rap or whatever. So, a lot of the music ain't really has the soul in it like it used to have. So, and then because it's mostly a lot of right now we in the killing game, bang 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 right
drill
now.
music.
The drill music. So which elevating a lot of violence too, by the way, because it's like, I don't see no positive in wetting up a homie block, and with the stick.
Spinning the block
With the stick.
Yeah.
So
Actually, drill is the activity. It's like, it's the thing you do. Like
yeah.
you go in a car and you're all just going to shoot somebody, I guess, at some point.
Yeah.
And they call it drill.
Drill, right. And the reason be dumb.
And then you rap about it afterwards.
The reason be dumb because he came to a party and some stupid stuff.
Looked at him wrong.
Yeah. But nah, it's not talent no more, man. It's more of just it was a lot easier back then to get on because back then it was more of your talented. Like if you could sing, you get a deal. Like you could easily get a deal. All it takes is a person to believe in that. If you sound good, boom.
So let me ask you because it might be a good question. Was it easier? I get that it's different now because of what all they want, right? But I wonder how we can compare that to the fact that if you lived in the South, it may have been hard for you to get a deal as opposed to living in New York. Because you can just go to Def Jam, rap for them. Oh, I like you. Cool. You LL Cool J now. Oh, I like you. I'm from Queens. You know, I'm Russell Simmons.
Right.
Or in the West, we had Dr. Dre and stuff like that. In the South, I mean, I don't know the Atlanta culture that heavy. I know Outkast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how easy it was for the South, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to now where the South is running things.
Right.
But you still need the TikTok and all that stuff. So
Right,
it's easier for a Southern artist to get on now than it ever been.
Right.
But I don't know if that's even worth it at this point because
South had a point where, you know, if you go back to the early days, South was popping. As far as when you talking about hip hop, well, South always been popping in church music. You know, South always had the best church music. The South always had the best rhythm and blues music, the best jazz music.
Anything with feeling, yeah.
Anything
Definitely.
with feeling. The most iconic artists came from the South. You know, you think about it like, you know, most of your iconic people came from the South, or people that admire, the most iconic people admire those ones that came from the South. Like, look, like, you know, quick example, you know, Michael Jackson, one of the biggest artists in the world, come from, you know, Ohio, you know, but who he icon? He idolized James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
James Brown from the South. So it's like, you know, we influence a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the South been through a lot more. I feel like far as, you know, I just feel like when it comes to that, because back in the day, entertainment-wise, you know, South was more of a working state where you know, slave was more, it wasn't that much freedom.
People scared to come down here.
Right.
You might not make it back.
Right. You go up north, you have better opportunities.
Yeah.
You can get on Broadway. You can, you know what I'm saying? So, but
You see what I'm saying though? Like that's why it's always like that was so weird back then to have that kind of that balance. It was really unfair for the South. So even for them to be on top today, I always feel like it's a good thing. 'Cause that's a long way to fight to get what's rightfully yours musically. You know.
Right.
All right. So, and I'm sorry you're going to tangent on that, but I had to ask you that question because you got the wisdom for it. So with music, right? When do you start to make that transition? Like, okay, well, not saying you're going to stop music because you don't, but when you start getting into like, I'm gonna start filming for real, filming.
Right.
I think filming is so hard. I just had Carlton Clay on here who do films all the time.
Yeah.
I've done some with him. I don't know how y'all do that because y'all got to set up. Y'all got to really schedule a whole day out for not just yourself but the whole cast.
Whole cast. Yeah. It's tough, man. When you doing a film, basically what that happened was like, okay, I took this was recently too. Like I stopped doing music like 5 years ago. Like I didn't stop. I took a break. Because I wanted to focus more into the filming.
Is that when you came to Augusta? You said 5 years ago you came here.
Yeah, I came here
from Aiken.
When I moved from Aiken, as soon as I moved down here, I kind of stopped the music. Like took a break from it when I moved to Augusta because I knew Augusta needed something else. They ain't need another rapper in the city.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
You know, so it's like, you know, we got enough of those already. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get a couple of them out there first. So I wanted to bring something different. I knew I already had a lot of talent. I was already doing newbie vets before I got in here. I was already doing like the video. I was already doing movies before I came here. So I started doing movies in Charleston. You know, when I stayed in Carolina, I used to go back and forth to Charleston. Shout out Felicia. Me and her started doing kind of filming together in a sense, like start working together. She was doing a little bit, you know, years, you know, before we linked up. But then when we linked up, we went heavy with it. So that was some years back. And then when I moved down to Augusta 5 years ago, I took the break. I was like, okay, I wanted to bring the movies and all that stuff down here in Augusta. And so, and yeah, man, it's time consuming, bro, because you got to plan the whole day out. And especially how it's caught up with the movies about how many cast members you have on it, because now you supervising and you got to manage, you know, the casting. So it's like, you know, you doing the movie because breaking a movie down, because a lot of people think a movie is easy to make. You know, a lot of people be hitting you up, yeah, I got a movie out there. I'm like, okay, you know, it's a budget behind that. and people don't want to be, you know, they think you be trying to be funny when, you know, I don't know if Carter be saying it, but I know most directors, all directors be, you know, there's a budget behind even what we film. If we have all the equipment, like I got two, 3 studios, I got all the equipment in the world. But every time I do a movie, I got to come out the pocket. You know what I'm saying? You still got to come out the pocket. Either way, nothing's free. So, but yeah, with the casting, man, when you do the movie, you gotta come up with the idea first. So once you come up with the idea, you gotta write it out. Now it depends on what you write it out, whether it's a short film, whether it's a feature film. Short film can go from 1 minute, 30 seconds to 1 minute to 10 minutes. Full film is an hour and 30 minutes. So But and then it's also about you writing. It's a certain way you gotta write it. So it's like so many ways. Even when you write the movie, it's a certain way you gotta lay it out. You can't just write it like you writing a paragraph, a story like somebody.
Yeah.
You gotta write it out, character based, section it out. Then you gotta put like in parentheses what are they doing, start things like that.
Like leave the room or says this or breathes, exhales. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta do all that. So
how I'm sorry, but how is that? How did when you writing a scene? All right. I don't know. I didn't get the. I was trying to. I asked to see some movie. I couldn't really find none. But I'm going based off your live and stuff, right? So I'm going for what I see. You write a scene. All right. In your mind, how often does what happens on camera is really what you envisioned when you wrote it down? Or do you give leeway to some of the actors?
It just depends on certain movies. Like Blood Was Shed Tonight. Blood Was Shed Tonight is more it's a script. So it's no really freestyling in Blood Shed Tonight. It's mostly script based, like stick by the script. You can put a little freedom into this one. A little bit, but certain not as scene, much. Certain parts, like say like fans, okay, the line might be, okay, you're gonna go in the room, you're gonna snatch these, there's a bowl of cashews there, you're gonna take 3 cashews out, eat the cashew, and then you're gonna be like, ooh, these are good. If we're going it by script, you gotta do it that exact way. But if I be like, I'll give them a little bit of room, but stay on the script, don't change up the whole thing. So if I tell you to go on there and be like, ooh, these cashews are good, you can be like, man, where you get these from? These cashews are good. You can add that extra stuff on and make it more realistic, but you have some people that just do too much.
But do you ever be like, hey, hold on, look, just do what I'm saying, that's it.
Oh my God. You have ones, man, you have people that just, like I said, it'd be funny, man, because people, when they think of acting, they try to go to the most dramatic scene they like and try to act it out, and it don't fit what they doing sometimes. So, man, you get that all the time, man, in film. But it's fun, man, but it's a process, though. Like I said, it's a whole process.
So, I mean, I never asked this question before. So, I've been watching a lot of Tubi movies lately. And when I say Tubi, I'm just saying on Tubi. I don't want to make it sound like it's... But I like the independent movie. I like movies with a dash of bad acting. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Like it's raw to me. I love it. I don't know what it's about it, but I love it. I don't say nothing about it being bad to me. I'm like, yo, you're doing a good job.
Right.
Have you ever like filmed and be like, hey, look, man, we gotta do this whole thing over. I need y'all to be better. Oh, yeah. I've dabbled in acting and stuff, and I can tell when the scene just wasn't really there. You could just you in the room,
Right.
But is there ever time like you tired, like, look, this is what we're gonna do here. This is it.
Right.
This is the scene we going with. Right. If y'all bad, oh well, that's on y'all. Or do you be like, no, until we get it right, we staying here?
Oh, nah, me, I like to film it over. I don't like it, you ain't leaving. Like,
okay.
I mean, that's the type of director I am. Like, but then there's some cases that you ain't got no choice but to let it ride, because it's like, you might have somebody that did a scene, and we need to reshoot the scene, but we can't. He's locked up. So like, oh man, now we can't shoot the scene. When he get out next year. Oh.
All the time. How you shoot the rest of the movie without him?
Now you gotta shoot. You gotta shoot that whole, everything.
That's crazy.
So that's what comes into, like, when you have to be kind of experienced in that, because all projects don't go as planned, bro. Like, I tell people that film, all projects do not go as planned.
Do any go as planned?
No.
Like, it's about to say how.
It's not one production. It's very rare for a production to go without a flaw, because there's always something. Either somebody running late, something freezing up, whether it's something small, tiny, there's always some type of error in production.
Damn.
Especially when you're dealing in movies or production. The more people you have, the more chances of stuff just gonna go haywire. Because even when I do movies now, bro, like I might cast 40, 50 people in this movie. And when we finally shoot, maybe 20, 30 survive till we film. Because it's just like, when I cast people, I'm the type of dude like, okay, you got to interact. We in a film group. Interact. Like, we post a date, like, it's an important date. We need to be here at 9:00. Don't call me the day of we filming and be like, hey, it's 9:12. Where we supposed to be at? You know what I'm saying? So,
So what's your attitude? Because you seem real cool here, right?
Yeah.
What's your attitude on set? Like, when like I mean just give me a random day. So it's not you're supposed to be at 9. It's 9:45. Two people done called you ready to say, hey, look, where you supposed to be at? You know one of them really ain't coming anyway. So what's your vibe? What's your
man? Real talk, man. This recently just happened. We filmed Sunday in Cheetah's Handbook, and I had 8 people called out. 8. 2 of them was leads. So I'm like, but when you experience and doing it like that, you know how to adjust on the fly. Mm-hmm. So, I had enough actors and stuff like that can just slide in there, and then, you want to plan characters to the people you select to too. So it's like, if some people have a habit of being late, or some people have a habit of not showing up or not responding or got bad communication, don't give them a lead part. Like, give them something small that can be replaced.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to film a whole movie with someone that's inconsistent and then they disappear on you. Now you can't even finish a movie, and you got scenes, and you could reshoot everything because you got scenes with everybody else in them. And
can you get really upset? Like, can you really, like, when I say that, not you, I know you can.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, at that person, now mind you done picked this person ready, right? They're a lead now. Mm-hmm. Y'all done shot half the movie ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to like watch how you speak. Cause not saying you're scared, but it's like now you risk either them quitting for real,
right?
Or you have to shoot the whole movie over.
Nah, it's like, man, sometimes you gotta swallow your pride. Like, I have to bite my tongue a lot sometimes, because it's like, okay, do I tell her, like, that, hey, I don't, you was late, we can't, you hurting the film, and, or do I tell her I can't work with her no more? If I do that, I can't kick her off the thing, because it's like, okay, let me go ahead and finish this film. Sometimes it's important. It's according to how important the film is, and how much time you invest in, the money you invest in. And you're like, man, we got to finish this film. I done put too much money behind it and stuff like that. So, yeah, man. Now when I cast, bro, I'm very particular who I cast. Like, and that's why, if you ever notice, like, you might see Tyler Perry use the same actors. Mm-hmm. You might see Adam Sandler use the same actors. Seth Rogen use the same actors, because those are actors he can depend on. They, depend on set and stuff like that. See, everybody be trying to get on movies and stuff because they want to get in the movie, but they don't really pay attention to their time that they have. Do you have the time for this? So,
speaking of time for it, what do you require on set? Like, do you require them to come all knowing their lines already? Like, is it okay if they just feel like, well, I'm gonna just read the lines the day of, and oh well? Like, do you let them? Like, what's the preparation that you require before filming or while filming?
That they become their character. They become the character. They become the person that they audition for. Like, don't give me 100% at your audition. As soon as you got the part, you drop back to 30%. And a lot of people do that. They still, a lot of people still do that to this day. They wait till the day of, because, I get it, it don't bother me if I know you're a good actor. You seasoned. I know that when I say action, you on your job. So
right.
I don't have to worry about some actor like that. But I'm talking about the ones that don't take it as serious, or, doing other things and actually trying to learn the character. And then you asking me stuff about the character on while we're filming. It's taking time. And, because it's a chemistry thing too. So, like, you got to be able to have that chemistry with other actors. They got to be able to bounce off you, to, to create that flow. But that flow ain't good if you don't know what's going on. You asking them what's whatever. So how I operate is, like, if I see you reading your script on the day of filming, I won't use you no more after that.
Damn, that's cutthroat. But I like it though. Because I was going to ask, like, how do you handle? You mentioned actors and actresses having to bounce off each other. So sometimes, I know it sounds crazy, but it's like basketball. Sometimes that one person not in sync with everybody else can mess up the whole scene.
Oh yeah.
So whereas, it's time consuming, we be on a schedule here, but you not being able to be bounced off of whatever reason, it's slowing up the process. It's messing the process up.
Right.
When that happens, do you coach them? Do you like?
Hey,
just go get out. Go.
Like for the most part, like we try to coach people. Like if they like, cause a lot of people's the hardest emotion to have, the turn on is the cry factor, and a lot of people can't easy tap into their dramatic emotional state where they depressed or crying. A lot of people can't tap into that, because it has to be triggered by something for them to tap into that,
right?
Because I know I can send you some actors now and you be like cry, or they can cry as soon as I say action, cry, boom, cry. And they be believable. You're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's just the acting world is a whole different world on its own, man. And it's like, shooting music videos is one thing, but when you get into the film world, it's like a totally different community by itself. Like, just a whole.
Within that arts culture, what's your favorite thing to do? Is it making beats? Is it shooting videos? Is it shooting films? Is it the newbie vet, the interviews? Like, what's your favorite? What you would say
platform?
Your favorite thing to do, media wise or arts wise?
That's a good question too, man. I actually like the beats, man. I
about to say you go live with the beats. I don't know, man. You be going live.
I mean, I like beats, but I love because that's my first love. That's my first thing, music. Always is in me. But like I'm into the movies now. Like, far as like I like seeing how an outcome of a movie, because it weirds myself out sometimes. Because it's like, okay, I'll film something, I know what's the beginning, the middle, and the end, but I'm still amazed on looking at it because it's like it's just a beautiful thing, bro. It's like when you think of something, bro, you just look at the process of something, an idea. It starts with an idea, like like even a movie idea. I come up with this idea in my room by myself. Come up with an idea, think about it. Then I have to write it down. I have my tablet, write down on my tablet, and then it's like, okay, and I post it out there, and just to see people bite, just people loving it, and people wants to do the role. And then when it's film day, you see people actually doing what you wrote and actually loving it and embracing it and stuff. That's a beautiful thing, man. It's like, beat wise, of course, you're gonna have people, everybody, this and that, but just the power of the power of words, the power of this, the pen, the tongue, just seeing people just reciting what you wrote, that's a beautiful thing. Cause like even with me, that's why I don't get affected by me, about the music thing. It don't hit me as it'll hit other people ego or stuff about music. Cause my thing is I was never trying to be the biggest superstar or nothing like that.
Right.
My thing was just to be accepted and be heard. My craft be noticed. I want my hard work to be seen and shown and, admire and give other people inspiration to start their brands and do things like that. So that's my whole ordeal about that.
In arts in this arts field, what would you say you've been the most successful at?
Movies.
Well,
I could say music too. I had like 2 record deals. I had 3 record deals. I had one with Irisha, Universal, Def Jam.
You yourself as an artist or just
as
like,
an artist? As an artist.
So how those come about? I ain't gonna lie, man. You be skipping a lot of stuff. You be
skipping
a lot of stuff,
man. Because
I like it though. I like it though.
Because you gotta think, man. It's like I'm 36, so it's like going through been through so much I've been through. It's like it's a lot. So it's like it's gonna take more than one interview.
No, definitely. I already know that. Yeah.
So,
and that's why something I didn't ask you because I heard on other ones. So I feel like you got 2 out right now. Something I just not gonna ask.
So I ain't even giving you the same material that I give for my other interview.
I do my research. I be trying, man. I be trying.
Yeah,
because
you want the new wave. You want the new info. So like my thing is I have enough stories where I can go on and on and on for days on just one topic. You already see how we can stay on one topic and go.
But you do this too, and I think it's always easier for somebody who be on this side a lot. You kind of know what the person on this side is wanting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you get people, and if I don't do rappers sometimes, because they always get the best interviews because they used to writing these 2-minute records, so they give you 20-second answers.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. I just remember when the songs were way long, like the rap song, like you had to listen to everybody on the song like 4-5 minutes. Then it went down to 3, and now it's down to like 1.5.
Well, shout out to Q Dog. I was gonna tell him like, yo, I love the project. It's just every song is super short.
It's like a verse
and maybe a hook, at the end. But I mean, I like it nonetheless. It's whatever, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's no verses like verse, hook, chorus, hook. You know,
Yeah.
it's none of that no more. It's just
Yeah.
like, hey. But I feel like a lot of times they make records now that can be used as reference records. So I feel like you can sell them to somebody and somebody else can just make it longer or whatever.
Right. Yeah,
and that's fine too. That's what they're doing.
That's pretty good way of looking at it too. Yeah.
Like, hey, just sell it to somebody. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Take it off Apple Music, sell it to somebody. You know, and do your thing.
And they don't know, like, I mean, a lot of rappers in the Augusta don't know they can make so much money, like, just by selling their hooks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, but that's a pride thing a lot of artists got to get out of. You know, rappers have a lot of pride and ego. We all do. You know, we all sensitive about our stuff. So, but I feel like, bro, like why not sell a hook? If the hook's not doing you no good and you can sell this hook to someone.
Maybe go back to what you're saying, like get uncomfortable. Sometimes they only doing rap and whatever else they doing, whether it's some street stuff or they working, whatever, right?
They all comfortable with all that.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they not thinking about,
They're not thinking
let me do
nothing
this,
else.
let me do that.
Right.
But think about it, if you're doing something else, you're uncomfortable. You might can sell on hooks and it can feed something else you're doing. You never know.
Right.
I don't know when you like when you've decided to do the movies, but I don't know if you knew at 20 that you would be as successful as you are with just movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You probably just thinking straight music.
I wasn't even thinking about movies, bro. Like,
See?
I ain't lying. Like,
See what I'm saying?
Movies popped up 10 years ago. I wasn't even thinking about no movies, man. Like, I was in music. I was in music, podcasting, radio. Well, cause we had a radio station. I was in more of the media and stuff like that, music videos and stuff. And, you know, the movies, like, basically fell on my lap. And it's like, ever since then, I don't get me wrong, I'm a big movie fanatic. I love movies. I love horror movies, comedy, action, thriller. I like all movies except love movies. I hate love movies.
Why not? What's wrong? You don't like love, man?
I love love. They just be so corny, man. They just be so.
So you don't like loving basketball, do you?
I love loving basketball. That's more of a drama kind of type thing. You know what I'm saying? Love. What I mean about love movies like
Like The Notebook?
Like The Notebook.
You about to say Notebook, wasn't you?
yeah, like The Notebook. Like, you know, you gotta sit there
because
like
they white or
like
because,
no, it's a chick flick.
Okay, got
like
you.
Chick flicks, like, you know, I can't sit there and watch a chick flick, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so. But other than that, man, yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, I want to get into the deals real quick. I'm just curious, how they came about and like and what came with that.
So basically, I ain't signed none of them deals. Those deals that were offered.
Okay.
So it was like, my thing was as an artist it was like I wanted to push this. I'm always pushing. So my thing is when I push, my grind is heavy, and anybody that's trying to compete with me, far as with. That's why I don't compete with people because like it's not for one. I don't do this for being competitive with nobody. I work with everybody. I link with everybody. It's not a competitive thing because we all art. We artists. So it's like we create our own art. So I just look at it like, you know, creating multiple pebbles, mosaic. Like I'm creating a mosaic.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? How they have multiple pictures to create one big frame. One big photo thing. But as far as with the labels, like I said, I never signed. The first one was Irish Records. That was we had it was a Savannah at this step show, and we lost the talent show. It was like a talent show, and whoever win got like a record deal, and we lost. We had got second place, and we still got offered a record deal. So we took the record deal, and the day that we was going to sign, my mother called him. He's like, nah, we'll pass right now, because by then we was getting in trouble in school. We was in school, and then we had got this deal. I was in a group, and we had got that deal, man. We were just showing out, bro, like not paying school no attention. And I remember that, bro. I cried.
Damn,
because my mother, like, we came home from school, like, because, you know, that day we were supposed to go to Atlanta to the Marriott and go link up with the record company and sign, you know, talking, whatever. So we get home, man. I remember this, my mama, my auntie, my other auntie, because it was like we was in a group, and I had my cousin, all of us, like family, we all was in the group. So, and they were sitting there, and they were like, port call was bad as crap.
Damn.
Port call was terrible.
Did y'all go to school talking about it? Like y'all gonna sign a deal?
Yeah, man. Boy, oh my God, boy. I will never do that again, boy. I did not want to go to school that Monday, boy.
Oh, boy.
Because it was that Friday, so I'm like, man, y'all might not see us Monday.
Oh, God.
I like, man,
That's funny.
I'm in there like there. I'm talking, I'm on it, bro. I'm feeling like
boy.
everybody like, this is last day, y'all. Like stuff like that. Man, I get home.
Don't
Friday.
forget about me when y'all make it big.
Man, the teachers congratulating us, and man, I made a fool of myself that day. But
That was a bad Monday, wasn't it?
Bad Monday, but like, Friday. So we got that Friday. Man, Mom was like, "Nah, y'all just I'm gonna have to show y'all education more important." I was like, "Man, damn education." I was so mad. Man, she called on people in front of us and was like, "No deal."
Damn, man.
Shit, they gotta learn education first.
And shout out to your mom, though, man. That's dope.
Man,
You don't hear stories like that, though, man.
I'm mad as hell at her.
I
wish so much hateful stuff for her in the room. I regret it all. I regret it all. But back then, boy, I was mad, boy. Oh, I was hot, boy. Oh, then Monday I had to go to school. I was like, I already knew. I'm like, man, they finna be looking at me like I'm lying Monday.
Yeah.
Everybody looking crazy. Everybody quiet. They're like, dang, boy, I thought you got
That
one
jokes,
person.
I already know how it go.
He started. Now everybody gotta get involved.
Yeah,
now,
man.
So
You gotta take them jokes on the chin, man.
I took it, boy. I took it. Yeah, that was
Damn.
like, yeah, that was terrible that time.
Hey, but it's crazy. You mentioned like, yeah, as a talent show. So, not saying it's easy, but you think about how easy it was to get a deal back then. Hey, win this talent show.
It was a talent show, bro. Like they actually gave record deals out of that talent
I know,
show.
that's
Not
crazy.
now. It's more of you win at a talent show or something. All right, you win. Okay, come back. You can go part 2.
But talent shows now it's a crazy game now, man. But I don't want to get into that. That's a whole another thing. But DJs and all the stuff we doing now, like you, damn, they're paying $100 just to say, hey, you won. Like you know, 1,000 people paying $100. They didn't came up with that little lie they did.
Right.
But anyway, I want to get into like the movie thing you're doing. So I know you got a movie you're working on now called The Cheetah's Handbook,
right.
And when do you suspect one you be done, and when you think it's coming out?
Both of them be out by Halloween. Both of them come out on Halloween, but I'm gonna have a movie premiere before Halloween for it.
So okay, real quick. Okay, I'm glad that's good. Damn. So both. What do you mean both? Like what?
Bloodshed Tonight and Cheetah's
So you're
Handbook
shooting 2 movies right now
at the same time.
Oh, you a bad man.
Man, I'm so used to it. It becomes normal, bro.
2 movies at the same time?
I'm shooting 2 movies at the same time.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about the Bloodshed one.
All right, Bloodshed Tonight's a horror movie. We're almost done with it. We only got like 2 more scenes with that and we're done. Basically what that's mostly about is about a family. Is a family. The mother dies, and so she leaves a will to her kids, and the son, basically he wants greed. He wants, a lot more. He winds up owing money to a drug dealer that he was working for. He wound up getting busted and wound up owing some money. So, the drug dealer was like, yo, pay this money, this and this or else, whatever. So he tried to use, he wants to use his mother will, hoping that he gets some money back. Because he is getting some money back from his mother will, but it's not the amount of money that he needs to pay this loan back. So he links up with this fortune teller, and he basically try to like go to her for a fortune, but he winds up telling her everything like what's about the money and stuff like that. So basically the fortune teller winds up basically doing a contract hit for him. Basically, by she has a spell, or she puts a spell on men to make them do what she wants, and she sends them out there to try to kill them all out there at their house. Okay. So it's pretty dope horror.
And what about Cheetah's Handbook? I mean, I guess that's kind of self-explanatory, but
Cheetah's Handbook, basically, self-explanatory. Well, basically, all right, 2 guys, 2 seasoned cheaters, basically, like, they've been cheating.
2 seasoned cheaters?
2 seasoned cheaters. But it's basically 2 seasoned cheaters and one that tried to attempt cheating and got caught. But basically, he gets caught, and the 2 seasoned cheaters that basically pick him up from that, from that, and they, basically try to put him on game.
Yeah.
How he shouldn't have got caught and things like that. So it's basically about 2 seasoned cheaters that have been cheating for years. This the day they finally get caught.
Gotcha.
So
is this like a comedy?
It's a comedy.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
What type of film is the easiest to shoot? Comedy, horror, drama? I know you're not shooting no love movies, so.
Yeah. Comedy. Comedy are the easiest things because it don't require that much. It don't require a lot. And it's really mostly about the laughs and stuff. Horror, you're gonna have to spend some money.
Is horror more about effects?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why you gotta spend some money on horror. So if you do a horror, you gonna have to you go out of pocket because you gotta pay for makeup, blood, or whatever you're using, and special effects, and there's all types of stuff.
The Cheetah's Handbook is E.J. Rogers in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shout out fool.
Yeah.
Shout out
to him,
E.J.
man.
Rogers.
Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't even know that you was behind the Love and Hip Hop. I didn't know you had anything to do with that.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know that,
About
like-
Augusta Parody.
Yeah, I did not even know that.
Yeah. I don't be bragging and boasting about a lot of stuff, bro. It's just, I try to keep everything under wraps. I'm very humble. Like
He did an interview here. That's how I knew about it. I was like, oh, where is that? I said, I didn't know you had nothing to do with that. I don't know. Why. I just didn't know. Like,
right.
I guess I'm not. I ain't gonna lie. I don't look at the credits all the time. Every now and then, you'll do it.
Yeah.
He touched on it a little bit, like from your perspective, right? Because I'm gonna tell, like, and I don't know if you watched it, but I said the same thing to him. I remember y'all putting some episodes out and then it stopped, right? But at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I was interested in them because I do media. Of course, I want to watch it, but I didn't think about it until like a month, 2. I'm like, damn, they didn't stop. So when I finally asked him, he said I had some mishaps about it. So like when you got something like that is pretty popular,
right,
you know, and people looking for it,
right?
What's the feelings or thoughts when you can't continue to put it out like you wanted to, like you initially planned on doing?
Yeah, you know, we actually tried to do season 2. We actually tried.
Seen that too.
We tried. Well, we still going to do it. Just right now, we trying to wait on the right people for it. It's just like we want to do when we do this one, we want to do it right. You know, the first one, you know, just it was more egos and it was a lot of chiefs. You know, it was a lot of people. You know, that were just. A lot of misunderstanding with things, you know, for part 2, which, like I said, that goes back to what I was telling you. But when it comes to production, there's always an issue, a drama, something behind every production story. You don't hear nothing about these things until they dead and they do a movie about these people. You're like, oh, so that's what really went on, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I mean, just being real with you, man, just personal dealings in beefs and dramas amongst cast and just things like that. You know, which everybody they good now and stuff like that.
How do you handle it? How do you fit through that when like you just trying to get the product out, you just trying to do your job, but you got these people going back? Do you try to like coach it out? Or you like let them handle their own issues?
Yeah, we try to coach them out. Like, you know, I feel like as adults, man, I feel like we all can go in the room and you could talk it out, you know, right there in front of each other. Like, okay, what's the issue? What's the problem? What can we do to fix this? Oh, shout out to Shar the Star. That's the, you know, she's the owner. She's the creator of Love and Hip Hop, Augusta Parody. She the one came to me and like begged me like, yo, let's do this. You know, I want to do this because I don't really like doing reality TV.
Right.
Because it's always drama.
Shar the one, she got the husband. Is that her?
Nah.
I think one of them messaged me one time. I think EJ said something. He must have said he was supposed to say, but she said, "Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal." So I don't like to do drama. So somebody say something on the show, somebody comment and say, "Hey, I want to come on." I'm gonna say no. Like I don't.
Right.
Whatever he said, take that up with him. FaceTime him or something like that. Go live.
Right.
I don't care. I don't care about it.
Right.
And yeah, but she told me, she's like, nah, it's cool, it's not a big deal. I think he must have smoothed it over, whatever. But yeah, I didn't know that even like you said, you don't know those things until it's done that it's an issue.
Right.
You just don't see it, so you don't say nothing.
Right.
And I applaud a lot of the people. I didn't see it, at least. They didn't go online and just make it a thing, to my knowledge, of course. Right. And then I'm pretty sure with one of the people that was on there passing away, it obviously then it becomes bigger than you at that point, you know?
Yeah. Recipes Reese, man. That was my girl, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, shout out to the whole cast, man. Like, you know, like I said, just it wasn't nothing crazy, man. Just a lot of personal issues that, you know, you get a lot of grown people around and people have personal issues. They talk it out, and you know, but by then, you know, we only was ready. We was only scheduled for like 6-7 episodes, so
gotcha.
we did finish it out and stuff like that. But you know, so we're working on part 2, But yeah, man, it was a blast though, man. I had fun doing that thing, man. It was a blast. What kills me about it though is like when the backlash that came from it. You know, like as far as when we first came up with it, and a lot of people was, you know, talking about it. Like they had podcast shows and everything about that, because, you know, people was like, hey, who these people? They ain't recognize nobody on the show. But I'm like, even if you look at Love and Hip Hop, like the Real Housewives of Atlanta, when they first came out, you ain't know everybody on it but Candy.
One thing I can say, I was doing Fire Acts at the time. We talked about it, and then we had two of the characters or two of the people that play on the show come on as well.
On Love Hip Hop?
Yeah.
Okay.
We was for it. We was for it. I knew I didn't know EJ, but I had heard of him. And I was like, nah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah, EJ.
You know, I was like, he's a funny guy. Like, it's gonna be something good.
Yeah.
And so that was my take on it. But yeah, you're right. It was a lot of people that wasn't. But you know what? I think in the city, it's a thing where if sometimes if a person don't come up with it, they won't like it because they felt like they was close to coming up with it, but they just couldn't come up with it. And I think that was something that everybody probably like, damn, why did we even think of this?
Right.
But since y'all had thought of it and did it, people automatically didn't want to accept it, you know? And I think that's just a culture thing, man. It's like it's a small city mindset kind of thing too. So
one thing about Augusta, man, that grinds my gears sometimes is I was going to do, I wanted to do, I would have done, I should have did, I thought about this. You know, it's like, you know, my thing is this, man, like, Augusta been around forever. You know, before we were born, before I even thought about even moving here, it's been around. And, you know, I can count with maybe two hands how many big impacted things that done hit Augusta that's been different. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that many. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's too, Augusta has too many of I should have done or I should do instead of let's get it, let's work it, let's do it, let's build it, let's make it happen. It's, you know, I think we need to cut that out a lot. Like, you know, let's talk and actually moving. Like I tell my team on CTC, man, don't come to me with no ideas. Don't come to me with your thoughts. I don't want to hear none of it. Because it's like, if you ain't putting no motion behind it, it's just a thought and an idea. We just talking. You know, because, you know, don't feed me. Because I'm the type of person like this. If you come to me with a good idea and if I feel like it's very, very profitable or it can really help the brand out, you're going to have my support for it. But if I just feel like you just talking like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about building a spaceship out there in the back. I'm like, oh, yeah? Like, did you buy some parts? Or did you got it built back there? Like, nah, man, you know, I'm just thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate those, like.
But what if, and I'm this is just curiosity speaking, like, what if somebody comes to you with an idea? It's just a thought. It's half-assed. It ain't really no plan put in place in it, but you know, like, damn, that could work. Like, do you tell them to build on it? Do you build on it with them? Or you like, hey, this is not my idea. So.
Right. I don't like to take nobody's ideas. Like, even going back with Chop, like, even with, like I said, he inspired me. But it was stuff that I already was doing, like he was doing, but I didn't. He showed me how to put it in a form in a way to monetize it in a way where I didn't have to go to work. I could be home with my family. I could spend more time with my family and pay bills doing what I love. He showed me that there is a way you can do that. So far as with going off what you're saying, with a lot of with them, I try to tell them, like, keep your idea. Like, I don't, because my thing is this, I want to see you succeed. Because, you know, the more people succeed, the more, you know, the more we could change things. Yeah. You know, change generational wealth for, you know, our families. You know, $1 million is a lot of money if you breaking it down to family, you know, parts of your family. You know, you can give $100,000 to each household of your family. It might not be a lot of money, but for $100,000 free money to them is a lot of money.
Trust me. You seen people going crazy for $350 today,
right?
I ain't mad at it. I ain't dissing nobody.
Right,
get your money. You know?
Right. Just imagine like $1 million, bro. Like, just imagine you hit the lottery. You hit the lottery for 20 million, 30 million. What's $100,000 you giving out to? If you got a family, I'm not saying who they have a family. I'm talking about the family that you know that this $100,000 can change. They, you know, some people just need a little boost. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get enough money to a family that can change that generational wealth, do it. Because you never know that favor turn back in advance. You know, in advance. So it's like I've always had that mindset. Like, you know, if you come up with an idea, I'll help you put it together. As far as like, you know, you don't know how to start it. Okay, this is a way. This is a way. Try it this way. You know, try a way that fits you, and then make your bread off it.
I did want to ask this question before we end it. I wanted to ask you like with the studios, right? How many studios do you got, and how'd you go about like what was the mindset in getting studios, getting the studios that you got?
I basically just wanted something where I could, my mindset. I wanted people to be able to walk in my mind, if that makes sense. Like when you walk in the studio, it's like everything in there is me, like meaning like my personality, my stuff that I grew up idolizing, stuff I like, sports, anime, cartoons, like music, like
PlayStation.
Like just everything is in
PS1.
there. Bob Marley, like all that stuff, bro. So it's like, and just the fact that my imagination, like jail is like the production studio on Broad Street. I wanted to build something down here in Augusta because that way the creators and people with ideas have a spot to be like, okay, we ain't gotta go all the way to Atlanta. We can go right in Augusta and work. So, that's why I wanted the jail cell and hospital room and all the other props, different set things, because Augusta wasn't doing that down this way. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody. I mean, Augusta, of course, the film offices and stuff, they got their own stuff.
Independent-wise, though.
Independent-wise, as far as somebody moving to the
You're
city.
the only one I know that has that type of stuff. If I ask that question, that's an important question I need to ask the studio, because you don't just have one, but you also continually building to get another studio, this other studio. So you got different studios now, and they all, I guess, are different sceneries, but all representations of what your mind.
Right.
So you can do different scenes at different studios.
Yeah, like one building has different scenes. One building got nothing but scenes and stuff, and they got 4 recording studios in it, and it got multiple scenes, multiple sets in it. The other building has a live stage and concert type stuff in it, and it has extra rooms and stuff and sets and stuff in there too as well. So it's like it's a first spot in Augusta where artists can go in there with nothing. They can come in there, get a beat, record it, get it mixed down, get it mastered, shoot the video, do an interview, perform in one day.
People notice? People notice stuff?
They know now.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. No, I like that though, because like I didn't even know that. Now I've seen, I see it on live. Like, I get to see a glimpse of all the stuff on live. I gotta come down and check the stuff out because
so it's one-stop shop, and we press up merchandise. So it's like, and you get shirt pressed up, and you get graphics.
So really, an artist can not only can they can make the music in there if they chose to, right? Make music in there. They could make a deal with you, or whatever, make merch in there as well. They can have photo shoots in there, video shooting there, perform in there, do live performances on however they're gonna do it.
Anything, yeah. You're podcasting.
They can just come in there.
It's come in there. It's a creator's chamber. You go in there like, once you go in there, man, just being in the area, bro, you get creative. Like, it makes you want to create something. And that's the atmosphere I want for everybody when they come in there. Like, everybody, the old people, young people, they love it. It's something for everybody in there. The old people that come in there, they like all the vintage records. I got vintage records all in there.
They gotta book it. Like, how does a person even get in contact or try to?
You can hit the website www.ctcunitedproductionstudio.com. You can book through there, or you can hit me up. The numbers on that day. You can hit the business line up, and we can book through there too.
Okay, that's dope. I didn't even know that. I just thought that it was just yours, and if you get you in there, then come through with it.
Oh nah, man. It's like it's my personal. It's like my personal filming studio, but I open it up for the city. City can use it whenever they want to use it for something.
This is a question I have to ask. Though. Do you feel like, and I'm not asking just a personal sense of it, just your thoughts. Do you feel like it's being properly utilized, or do you think people even know about it enough?
People know about it, man. It's like when I make a post, the posts go crazy. Like, people know that there's a studio there. People know. It's like the thing with Augusta, they have to see people they know use it and get the experience from it. Yeah. And then they're like, so how was it? Was it dope? Oh, J. Paul, cool. Oh, I want to go. And that's how it always be, bro. It be people be knowing about stuff. Like, that's one thing. Another thing about Augusta that grinds my gears. Like, it's like people. Augusta's small, bro. Like, it like, does everybody know? You know somebody in a circle. You know at least one person in every circle. And to the point where it's like, people know what's going on. People know who got movement going on. People knew about stuff I had going on before I knew they knew I had stuff going on. It's just the fact that, and I heard, and the reason I say that, bro, because like 5-6 people that I've interviewed told me this. Like, well, you know, bro, I had to see how the energy was, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen you interview my homeboy. I'm like, oh, so you interview him? Oh, I know you cool. And so it's like, and then I seen his thing was fire, bro. You fire. So it's like they gotta see an example
Right.
of somebody they know, and like go back to what you said. They don't really rock with people they don't know. When I first came to the city, bro, nobody didn't want to rock with me.
Yeah, it's definitely
Nobody.
definitely a temper check city. Let me check the temperature first. Let me see what's going on.
Yeah, that's fact.
But I go back to also the same thing, the matter of the whole I could have, I should have, I would have type of mentality, because they can easily just hit you up and just see for themselves what it's about. And then they get mad when somebody else get an interview with you, and somebody else start working with you, and like, damn, I was gonna work with him. I was gonna do it. Nah, you should have did it then.
It's crazy, bro, because like it's crazy because like when I first came to Augusta, bro, like I reached out to everybody, bro, that was doing something in the city, as far as wise, like name wise, and just people in the city. People leave me on red, some people respond back, and then like 2-3 years later, changed up.
Hey, that'd be dope when you go there and message like, oh, I hit you up 3-4 times, and now you finally hit me back up. I should make your ass wait, bro. I ain't gonna do
I know,
like that.
not putting no name out there. It was one female, like, you know, she was a hot female. I'm
yeah,
like,
I know
okay,
her. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, I got to get this interview with her. I like, cause she's hot right now. I think it'd be a dope interview. Reached out to her. She looked at it. You know, that's one thing about certain women. Like, you got to approach I know you can vouch for this. We have to approach certain women different than we do men. Like, we could be like, hey, how you doing, King? Like, this and this, and I want to book you for an interview, this and this and that. Female, you got to think about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Every word matters.
Yeah, every word matters.
Every single one. Commas, everything. All that stuff matter. I gotta tell you, like, hey, I'm not trying to smash.
At all.
I'm really just trying to
I'm
get
not
this
using
working,
my platform to get close to you. I'm
bring,
trying to actually
bring
work.
your boyfriend, your uncle, your brother. I don't care. I'm not trying to do nothing. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you gotta load them in sometimes too. Sometimes I throw a bait out. Hey, I should come on the podcast. You sure should? Yeah, come on. Yeah. Because if I ask, it's like, you know, they think you trying to holler at them.
Yeah, I normally do like, hey, I give them a whole. I have a copy paste thing. I give everybody the same copy thing. Because it's like if you doing an invite or if you whatever, you know, it's a certain, like a newsletter or like a letter out. It's no different than the studio if they want to work with you. You know, they give you that letter. So same thing I give out to people. You know,
that's dope, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. I learned a lot about you. I didn't know that the studio is. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I think the Tomb County is my favorite part, just because I like to know about people. So now I feel like I'm gonna go look it up and just find stuff from there. You know what I'm saying? Not like you, but just I like history. Yeah. History is my favorite thing. Yeah. And but the studio I thought was dope because I know Slim. I work with real closely, and we always talk about how people should invest in studios because a lot of times he'll book a photo shoot for somebody. He'll charge them XYZ, whatever. He'll just go pay for the studio to shoot it. Now he gotta. Ain't no canceling, ain't no rain, ain't no, unless something happens, that person can't let you in. But other than that, it's free range. You know what I'm saying? Right. I ain't never thinking about it like that. And you got here.
Yeah, I got a studio for now. Yeah, so like I got it.
So now I need to know if he know about it. I'm gonna have to ask him if he know about it, and go from there. But that's dope.
Like I said, I got something with the news channel that's supposed to be doing a grand opening. Once you do the big grand opening, I just ain't been having time. Been so busy. But once we do,
how busy you gotta be to not have time for the news. Yeah, you doing a good job, man. News usually wait for nobody, so that's what's up.
Man, man. Like, that's the real thing. Yeah, so another thing about news too, man, you don't be knowing who really work for the news these days. They be looking like me and you.
They all, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Sometimes they mess me, I'm like, who are you? Like, oh, my bad. What you want? What's going on? Yeah, that's how I be, man. Yeah, that's how I be now, man. But yeah, man. Tell people they can find you at studio, your material, your movies, all that stuff. Tell them where they can find everything at.
Okay.
Man.
You can follow me. Well, you can go to www.ctcunitedproductionstudio.com. That is www.ctcunitedproductionstudio.com. That's basically where you can go for casting calls, movies, beat for sale, all types of stuff on there, bookings on there. Instagram, J. Paul the Demigod. Facebook, J. Paul Demigod. Everything's J. Paul Demigod. Tubi, you can type in J. Paul Demigod. Amazon, J. Paul Demigod. So.
Last question, swear to God. Demigod, what that mean?
Demigod?
Yeah.
Meaning a child of God. Meaning like you have, you have more gift. You got God-given gifts that others don't have.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's like demigod, you meaning that you talented in so many ways. So like I'm real big on Greek mythology. You know.
Is that where the hair come from?
Nah. It's Rastafari.
You a Rastafarian?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Rastafari is a way of life.
Okay,
It's
gotcha.
a way of
That's
life.
my last question. I swear to God.
Yeah. It's a way of life.
Okay. You like the Bob
I
Marley?
I like to read about Greek mythology because it's like kind of play this part in the world we live in today, as far as with everything.
Okay. I like that. I took humanity and they told me that the same thing. I like that too.